Well, let's take a look at what is happening in the markets, and we start off with the JSE that has just closed. Of course, after a day of great gains on the JSE, almost 2% in yesterday's session, we do have the JSE shedding almost 1% on the day. So there, the all share declining 0.95%. We do have the bulk of that coming from the Resources 10 complex. Of course, that was the star of the show yesterday, up by more than 5%, but now declining almost 2%. We do have the Financial 15 and the Industrial 25 giving up almost the same percentage. Of course, locally, also investors digesting the local GDP print that came out for the fourth quarter of 2024, rising 0.6% after a contraction in the third quarter. Let's take a look at what is happening in the U.S. markets. And on that front, the Trump tariffs against Mexico, Canada and China are in full swing. And of course, we have had China announcing that it will retaliate on the U.S., against the U.S. rather. We do have a sea of red on that front, with the tech-heavy NASDAQ leading the losses there, declining 1.77%. A decline on the S&P 500 of almost a similar margin, and the Dow giving up more than 1.5%. Let's take a look at the European markets, and on that front, those markets also digesting and trying to figure out the impact of the Trump tariffs. And we have seen that filtering through to the automotive players, with those car makers seeing pressure in their stocks today. Defense stocks actually still seeing quite upward momentum in their share prices. We do have the FTSE 100 declining more than 1%. The CAC 40 carrying the actually carrying the losses of almost 2.5%, and the DAX carrying the bulk of those losses, declining almost 3.5%. Let's take a look at the currency scene and start off with how the rand is doing against some of the major currencies, remaining relatively flat at 18 rand 58 cents against the US dollar, 23 rand 62 cents against the pound, and at 19 rand 53 against the euro. Let's check in on how the other currency pairs are doing, starting off with the euro dollar at 1.05, pound dollar at 1.27, and the yen just above 150 against the US dollar.